Well, you know, Tom, we always try and have thought leaders come to our board meetings, try and give us a sense of what's going out there so we're not insular in what's going on. And we're really pleased to announce that going forward, those thought leaders will be part of JCC Association's Morton L. Mandel Thought Leadership Series. So again, a way to continue his legacy of forward thinking and our ability to move forward with that and understand what's going on outside our walls and be forward. So. I think throughout my business career and nonprofit career, clearly it's all about the who and getting the A-list players in. On the business side, it's very easy for bad management to screw up a really good product, and it's actually good management can fix a bad product and get it out to the market and doing well. It's the same thing in the nonprofit sector. You get really good management, it helps drive the vision and of the organization and of the field. And I think fortunately we have Daron here as a real A-lister and able to do that for us. And I think a lot of that goes back to what Mort kept imparting upon us all the years that I've been on the board as well. So I think keeping that in our forefront, and as Daron has developed his A-list of people, employees around him and staff around him, again, it allows us to move forward and do the work that we do as lay leaders with an amazing staff behind us. And for that, I always appreciate Port's counsel on that going forward. In addition to those things that we've had going on, we had JCC Global. For those of you who don't know JCC Global, it is the organization that covers JCCs not in North America and not in Israel. And in fact, we actually recently upped our donation to JCC Global to make sure that they are successful. It's been a great organization, continues to be that way. We've had great representation with Ron Lebo, Jerry Pollack, Shirley Solomon, and Steve Reiner. Have each served for a number of years and continue to do so. Clearly Ron hasn't gotten to their bylaws yet about term limits, so, but it's great that they're there. In addition, Adrian Montrose, David Peltz, and Annette Saxon have all agreed to serve as new representatives of the JCC Association on their global board. I'm also a vice president there, so thank you all for your service to that. And it's a great organization. I was at the board meeting that happened in Jerusalem in December on the tail end of their conference that they had. And I think it's amazing to sit around that table and see representatives from around the world, from JCCs around the world, and understand the outreach and the ability of JCCs to influence the Jewish communities from where they exist and how we really are the town square that people can come, and we actually build community by being there. It was truly amazing. And as you may be aware, Steve Seid was elected as the new president of JCC Global at the World Conference. So it's a new chapter, and promises to be a powerful one instead. So mazel tov to Steve, and thank you. When they asked me to give a quick talk at the board meeting, I joked that while I was doing local stuff, Steve was doing continental stuff. While I moved up to continental stuff, Steve took over the rest of the world. Thanks. In other ones, we have the Centro Deportivo Israelita of Mexico City, which is their massive. If you've ever been to Mexico City and visited this place, it is truly amazing. It's amazing how they bring all the Jewish community together in this one central space, and the facility they have is amazing, and the programs they provide there are amazing. And we're really trying to create a partnership with them so that they're more closely connected to us here at JCC Association. They are part of the Latin American group of JCCs. And we have had several discussions with them over the past years about becoming part of JCC Association. They are, Fran, I believe, actually in North America, so we want to have them as part of it. Fran has another list of 23 countries in North America. So in March, Steve, Daron, and I will lead a small high-level delegation to Mexico City to move this agenda forward. So at our next board meeting, we'll hopefully have more noteworthy developments to talk about when we're from that meeting. I'm really looking forward to getting back there and seeing that. And obviously we get great representation from Mexico at the JCC Maccabi Games. And continue to create that relationship we've got going down. Last month, the executive committee met to discuss a request to access the Strategic Action Fund for up to $30,000 in response to J-Response training for the field. As you all know, J-Response has been a tremendous success so far. I think it's really outstripped and outpaced what we thought it would be originally. When we first thought about it being for physical calamities and natural disasters. In fact, it's actually turned into something much, much greater than that, as evidenced by what we were able to do in Pittsburgh. But we want to make sure we keep training our J responders and making sure that that agenda continues to be fulfilled. So I want to thank once again Lisa Brill, Jennifer Mamlett, and Brian Schreiber for leading the J Response Task Force, about which we heard a great deal at our meetings in Pittsburgh. And again, what we've done so far is tremendous. What we're going to do is even better. We actually now have a professional staff person leading it, Mark Young. We'll hear more from him tomorrow. And he's been working on the 2020 agenda that includes 3 major training programs to be undertaken in partnership with Israel Aid, our worldwide partner. The first one will convene in Houston in March. And it was that program that we were talking about for the $30,000. I'd like to say the executive committee overwhelmingly approved the use of that $30,000 out of the SAF for that training program. Jennifer and her team are currently working on additional sources of funds to underwrite the additional 2 training programs and support necessary deployments as they arise. Hopefully we won't have to use it very often, but it's there when we need it. And I think not only did the people in Pittsburgh really get a lot of having our J-Response people there, but the people who responded and went to Pittsburgh also got a lot out of it as well. And it feels it creates a real camaraderie between staff from JCCs that may or may not actually get to meet each other and we get to know each other. So that's really an amazing program that we've got going there. On news and notes, mazel tov to Joyce and Neil Goldstein on the birth of their first grandchild, a baby boy who was born on Monday, October 28th. Joyce also had successful heart surgery at the Mayo Clinic in Rochester, Minnesota. She's now recuperating back at her home in Arizona, so she's not here. Our condolences to Lyle Gray, whose stepfather passed away on Monday, November 4th. A mazel tov to Lynn Whittles on the birth of her grandson, Zachary Mason Whittles, who was born on November 12th. Rick Nelson couldn't be here because he had hip replacement surgery this past Wednesday. So we send our wishes for a full and speedy recovery to him. And to follow that one up, Ron Debo is having his knee replaced next Thursday. Which, yes, right. Super important. You know, they used to say the $6 million man, but that's pretty cheap these days. So, he actually postponed that knee surgery just so he could go to Italy. So positive healing thoughts to you when that's done. Ron also recently celebrated the bar mitzvah of his grandchildren, Jake and Sophie, and reports that their skills were exceptional. And he is, in fact, a very proud grandfather. Mazel tov to Annette and Mike Saxon. Their son Jake got engaged after our last meeting in November. Congratulations. To Karen and Paul Berman, whose son Austin graduated from the University of Maryland in December. And effective in the new year, Suzanne Alvin Tucker will become Vice President and General Counsel of the Munshine Group in Springfield, New Jersey. That group is a fundraising, communication, strategy, and implementation firm. Besides her work as General Counsel, she'll also be involved in various consulting assignments in nonprofit and for-profit organizations in the tri-state area. I'm sure we will cross paths professionally quite a bit between us and you. And on January 23rd, 2020, Mark Merklin will conclude his 8 years of service as the managing partner of the Bruce McDowell law firm and return to full practice of law. So, anybody else have any other news?
We celebrated our 50th anniversary New Year's Eve.
Congratulations.